The upcoming meeting will focus on the political developments following Bashar al-Assad's departure. What do you think are the key priorities for the US and European allies in shaping the future governance of Syria, and how might these objectives evolve in the wake of the new government?
To Europe, and less so the United States, of course, but predominantly to Europe, and because of this location right in the Eastern Mediterranean, and because of the impact the Syrian conflict had on Europe economically and even politically, with the fallout of the refugee crisis. So right now, the European Union is focused to make Syria's transition as orderly as possible and to ensure that Syria will not once again become a source of instability or conflict or refugee, in my view. And I think this is an aim that is supported by the United States in turn. And this explains why the European Union has been so invested as of recent to engage the new government in Syria and to try to establish a common basis of dialogue, given of course, the questionable background of the new governing force in Syria led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, fundamentalist group, essentially that is classified as a terrorist organization in most of these European countries. Mm-hmm. So, as we can see, this will be the main focus. And I think it will be very telling because actually, even before the meeting, news came out today that numerous European delegations have arrived on Damascus already from Germany, from France, from Italy, even the Italian Prime Minister herself, Giorgia Meloni, openly stated that she's optimistic about future relations with Syria. France reopened its embassy inside Damascus today for the first time in 5 years. So these are all indicators that the Europeans are seeking to normalize. However, the question of sanctions remains to be answered, and I can speak about that later.
Mm-hmm. Ambassador Abbas, now, given the recent developments after Assad's departure, what role do you see for Western powers in facilitating a stable political transition in Syria? What are the most crucial steps that need to be taken to ensure a lasting political solution?
It is projected that Syria will witness great political developments under the national rescue government, which the term of which is going to end in 3 months. After that, a consensual government with political international support can be formed in order to guarantee political multiplicity in the government of Syria. As well, the efforts to resolve internal fragmentations, if present, I think, will be conditional on the provision of international support. In fact, to conclude, I would like to say that the outcomes are going to totally predicate upon international and national agreements. And up until now, it seems that the Syrian people have a lot of confidence and trust in the rescue government to take over this kind of transition in a peaceful manner.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Osman, now one of the key points of discussion will be establishing communication with Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. How significant is this shift in Western policy towards Hayat Tahrir al-Sham?
Well, they have to face the fact if they want to establish communication with the government of Syria, then they have to establish communication with Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. The current transitional government is overwhelmingly, or not overwhelmingly, entirely dominated by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. The Prime Minister is a member of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. All the members of the cabinet are members of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. And the military arm of the current Syrian government is a coalition of armed factions led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham in the absence of a standing military and security force. So it seems that they are the de facto governing force in Syria, and it seems that everyone is open to negotiating with them on this regard. And I think that establishing communications with Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the prerequisite for it is to try to find ways by which they can unlist them from the terrorist list, essentially. And I think this could be a bit challenging since the organization was involved previously in numerous acts of terrorism inside Syria and beyond. So, of course, they were formally affiliated with Al Qaeda and ISIS. So that means that there is much to be done. However, if the Europeans and the Americans have the will to remove them from the terrorism list, I think they will do that. And I think they do have the will to do that. But of course, they are taking into account certain geopolitical considerations and certain security considerations. And these will not be satisfied until the Syrian government gives them certain guarantees regarding a variety of issues, some of them concerning their foreign policy direction, who will they support, who will they be aligned with, their position vis-a-vis Israel. And I think this is evident on how of the lack of response to Israel's violation in Syria. And also, on the domestic level, they want guarantees that they will not persecute the minorities, the Shiites, the Alawites, the Christians, the Druze, their political opponents, that they will be committed to some form of institutional representative governance. So I think these are all things that they will discuss with Hayat Tahrir. Will they actually manage to get all of these guarantees? I think this remains to be seen, but I remain very skeptical.